You have seen the ads. A beautiful modern prefab home for just $35,000. Clean lines, open floor plan, delivered right to your land. It looks like the answer to the housing crisis nobody asked for. But here is what those companies are not putting in the caption, the brochure, or even the fine print. That $35,000 number is just the beginning of a story they really do not want you to finish reading. And today, we are going to finish it together, because thousands of people in 2026 are signing contracts on these homes without knowing 5 critical things about the layouts that could cost them tens of thousands of dollars extra and years of frustration. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what questions to ask, what red flags to look for, and how to actually get a livable, beautiful home on a tight budget without getting burned. Before we go any further, if you are new here, welcome to Affordable Homes and Plans, the channel where we pull back the curtain on everything the home building industry hopes you never figure out. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video like this. And if you already know someone shopping for a prefab or modular home in 2026, do them a favor and share this before they sign anything. Now let us get into it. Here is something that should stop you cold. In 2026, prefab and manufactured housing companies are advertising floor plans at $35,000 more aggressively than ever before, riding the wave of housing affordability panic across the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. But independent housing analysts and real buyers who have gone through the process are reporting that the final total cost of getting one of these homes move-in ready is landing between $90,000 and $180,000 in most markets. So the question is not whether $35,000 prefab homes exist. They do. The question is, what exactly does that $35,000 actually buy you, and what is the layout company hiding in plain sight? What that 35K price tag actually covers. Let us start with the number itself, because this is where the confusion begins and where companies count on you not digging deeper. When a prefab home building company advertises a $35,000 home, in most cases they are quoting you the base unit cost of the structure alone. That means they are pricing what they build in the factory, the shell, the frame, sometimes the basic interior finishes. In 2026, the most common $35,000 prefab offerings fall into 2 categories. The first is a single-section manufactured home, typically ranging from 400 to 700 square feet, built to HUD code in the United States, or equivalent standards in other markets. The second is a modular panel kit home that you or a contractor assemble on-site. What is not included in that price is almost everything that makes a home actually function. Site preparation is not included. Foundation work is not included. Utility hookups for water, sewer, and electricity are not included. Delivery and installation of the unit is not included. And critically, the layout upgrades that make these homes actually livable are not included. Here is the attention anchor you need to hold on to. The base layout that comes with a $35,000 prefab is designed to hit a price point, not to serve your life. Companies show you the upgraded model in the showroom. They advertise the kitchen with the island and the open living area, and the 2 bedrooms with proper closet space. But what you are actually buying at $35,000 is a stripped layout that in many cases looks nothing like what caught your eye in the ad. One of the most common complaints from 2026 prefab buyers across housing forums and buyer review platforms is that the base floor plan felt like a rough draft of the home they thought they were purchasing. The ceiling heights are lower, the bedroom dimensions are smaller. The storage solutions that made the layout look smart in marketing materials are premium add-ons that cost extra. And here is your first cliffhanger. If the base layout is already a compromise, wait until you hear what companies are actually doing with the floor plan options they are not advertising at all. Because there is a whole category of layout configurations these companies have available that they are strategically not showing most buyers, and understanding why will change how you approach this entire process. The hidden layout configurations they are not showing you. This is the section most people never reach because they stop at sticker shock after learning the real costs. But if you have stayed with us this far, you are about to learn something that could actually save you money while getting a better home. Prefab and modular home companies in 2026 operate on a tiered configuration system. They have entry-level layouts built to attract buyers with the lowest possible advertised price. they have mid-tier layouts with better flow, more functional room placement, and smarter use of square footage. And then they have premium configurations that most buyers assume are out of their budget without ever being told the real price difference. Here is the truth. The price jump between entry-level and mid-tier layouts is often far smaller than companies let on during the initial sales conversation. Why? Because showing you the entry-level base first anchors your expectations low. Then any upgrade feels like a win for the salesperson. It is a classic retail psychology tactic being applied to one of the biggest purchases of your life. Specifically, here are the layout configurations that many $35,000 to $50,000 range prefab companies have available, but do not lead with in their marketing. The first is what is called an offset bedroom layout. Instead of the typical setup where bedrooms sit at one end of the home and the living space at the other, the offset configuration staggers the rooms in a way that creates natural acoustic separation without adding square footage. It makes a 600 square foot home feel significantly more private and livable. Companies that offer this rarely advertise it prominently because it makes the base layout look bad by comparison. The second hidden configuration is the expanded utility core. In base layouts, the kitchen and bathroom plumbing share a wall, and the utility space is minimal. In expanded utility core configurations, the laundry, mechanical systems, and storage are repositioned so the living areas feel larger even though the total square footage is identical. Buyers who discover this layout love it. But you usually have to ask directly for it. The third is the flex room conversion. Many prefab companies build their units with a room that is technically coded as a den or office in the base plan. In markets with strict zoning, calling it a bedroom triggers different permit and safety requirements. But with a simple layout adjustment and proper permitting, that room functions entirely as a bedroom. Companies are often vague about this because navigating the zoning conversation takes time they would rather spend moving to the next sale. Now here is the attention anchor for this section. The difference between a frustrating prefab layout and a genuinely livable one is often just the right question asked at the right moment in the sales process. And the companies that sell these homes know that most buyers never ask those questions because most buyers do not know they exist. There is one specific layout feature that prefab companies are quietly removing from base models in 2026 to cut costs, and it is a feature that directly affects how much your home will be worth if you ever try to sell it. We are getting to that in just a moment. The layout feature they quietly removed and why it matters. The feature is dedicated exterior entry storage. It sounds simple, almost boring, but stick with the explanation because the implications go further than you might expect. In prefab home layouts from even just 4 or 5 years ago, the standard entry sequence included a defined mudroom or transition space between the exterior door and the main living area. It was a small zone, sometimes just 4 or 5 feet of depth, but it served multiple functions. It provided weather buffering, which reduced heating and cooling costs. It gave residents a place to remove shoes and outerwear without tracking through living spaces. And for resale purposes, it gave the home a sense of entry sequence that felt residential rather than institutional. In 2026, a significant number of prefab companies have eliminated this feature from their base layouts entirely to reduce the material cost and simplify factory production. The front door now opens directly into the main living area. It does not sound catastrophic until you live in it through a full winter, or until you try to sell the home and buyers walk in and immediately feel like something is missing, even if they cannot name what it is. Resale appraisers can name it. Entry sequence and transition space are documented factors in how manufactured and modular homes are valued compared to site-built homes. Homes without them consistently appraise lower, and in 2026, with mortgage rates still elevated and manufactured home financing remaining more restrictive than conventional loans in most markets, a lower appraisal has compounding consequences for your financial position. Here is the attention anchor. The layout decisions companies make to reduce their factory costs by a few $100s per unit can reduce your home's resale value by several $1,000s. And because these decisions are baked into the base floor plan that buyers accept without comparison shopping against previous model years, most buyers never realize the trade-off was made. What you should do before signing any prefab or modular home contract is request to see floor plans from the company's 2022 and 2023 model year equivalents alongside the current offering. Compare the entry sequence, the utility core positioning, and the bedroom dimensions directly. If you see shrinkage in key areas, you have a negotiating point or a reason to look at competitors. Some companies will add a basic transition zone back into the layout for a modest cost if you ask specifically for it. They know why it matters, they just bank on you not knowing. We have talked about what is missing from the layout, but there is something happening with the exterior dimensions of $35,000 prefab homes in 2026 that almost no company will discuss proactively, and it has everything to do with how these homes interact with your land, your zoning, and your ability to expand in the future. The exterior dimension problem and what it means for your land. This is the section that experienced real estate attorneys and land use consultants say is the most overlooked element of the entire prefab buying process. And it comes down to a measurement that sounds technical, but is actually very straightforward once you understand it. Prefab homes in the $35,000 range are almost universally built to a width of 14 to 16 feet for single-section units, or designed for lot clearance at the minimum zoning setback compliance in the broadest possible range of markets. What this means in practice is that the exterior footprint of these homes is optimized for factory transport and minimum viable lot size, not for the land you actually own or the community you are moving into. In 2026, zoning regulations across suburban and semi-rural areas in the U.S. have become more varied and in some cases more restrictive regarding manufactured housing placement. Some counties that previously allowed 14-foot wide units are now requiring minimum widths of 20 feet for permanent placement. Others have updated their setback requirements in ways that affect how a prefab can be positioned on a standard residential lot. The companies selling you these homes know this. Their sales teams are trained to tell you to check with your local zoning office, which is technically accurate advice but also a way of making the due diligence your problem rather than theirs. The issue is that many buyers are so focused on the home itself that the land interaction becomes an afterthought, and that is exactly where things go wrong. Here is a specific scenario that is playing out for buyers in 2026. A buyer purchases a $35,000 prefab unit. They own a lot they have had in the family for years, or purchased specifically for this home. They go through the delivery and installation process. And then they discover that the exterior footprint of the home, combined with local setback requirements, leaves them with insufficient yard space to add a small accessory structure, expand the home with a future addition, or in some cases, to park vehicles legally off the street. None of this is disclosed during the sales process because none of it is the company's legal obligation to disclose. They are selling you a structure. What happens between that structure and your land is, by their framing, entirely your responsibility. The attention anchor here is critical. Before you sign a purchase agreement for any prefab home in 2026, you need to have the exact exterior dimensions of the unit reviewed against your specific parcel's zoning requirements, setback rules, and any HOA or deed restrictions. This is a conversation that takes an hour with a local land use attorney or zoning consultant and can save you from a situation that is genuinely difficult to reverse. Some companies will actually help with this review if you request it, particularly larger regional builders who have dedicated land compliance teams. Smaller operations often will not because they do not have that capacity. Knowing which type of company you are dealing with before you pay a deposit is important. We have covered the layout, the hidden configurations, the missing features, and the exterior dimension issue. But the most important thing buyers in 2026 need to know is what question to ask that cuts through all of it at once. The single question that separates buyers who get a genuinely good prefab deal from buyers who spend the next 3 years fixing things they did not see coming. We are saving the best for last. The one question that changes everything. After everything we have walked through today, this final piece is the one that ties it all together. And it is simple enough that you can use it in your very first conversation with any prefab company. The question is this: can you show me a completed installation of this exact layout on a site similar to mine, and can I speak with that homeowner? That is it. That single question does more to protect you as a buyer than any checklist or contract review because of what it reveals in the response. Companies with genuinely solid products, transparent pricing, and layouts that perform as advertised will have happy buyers they can point you to. They will have completed installations they can show you photographs of or arrange a visit to. They will welcome the reference check because satisfied customers are their best marketing. Companies that are relying on aspirational marketing, stripped base layouts, and the information gap between what buyers know and what they should know will struggle to answer that question confidently. They will give you generic testimonials from their website. They will redirect to showroom models. They will tell you privacy prevents them from connecting you with past customers. These are not disqualifying on their own, but they are signals worth noting. In 2026, with the prefab and modular housing market more crowded than it has ever been, the companies worth doing business with are the ones that have built enough trust with past buyers that those buyers are willing to talk. Find those buyers, find those completed installations, and then look at the layout, not in a showroom or a rendering, but as a lived-in home. Check the entry sequence. Check how the natural light falls across the living area. Ask the homeowner what they wish they had done differently. Ask specifically about the layout, about the room dimensions and whether they match what was advertised, about the utility core and whether the kitchen and bathroom function the way they expected, about storage, about ceiling height, about how the home sits on the land. That conversation will tell you in 30 minutes what 6 months of reading brochures and watching company videos could never tell you. Here is the final attention anchor before we wrap up. The $35,000 prefab home is real. Livable, well-built, honestly marketed versions of it exist in 2026. There are companies doing this right. Smaller regional builders, newer modular manufacturers, some factory-built tiny home companies, all offering genuinely competitive products with transparent pricing and layouts that hold up in real life. But they exist alongside companies that are riding the affordability wave with marketing that outpaces the product. And the only way to find the good ones is to ask the questions that separate them from the bad ones. You now have those questions. You now know what to look for in the layout. You know what is missing from the base models. You know what the exterior dimensions mean for your land. And you know that the companies counting on you not knowing these things are the ones you want to stay away from. That is everything for today, and honestly, this is one of the most important videos we have done on this channel, because this is real money and real decisions that real people are making right now in 2026. If this helped you, please give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this content reach the people who need it most. Drop your questions in the comments below. If you are actively shopping prefab homes right now, tell us what market you are in and what you are seeing out there. We read every comment, and we often build future videos directly from what you share. If you have not subscribed yet, now is the time. We cover affordable housing, floor plans, construction costs, and everything the building industry hopes stays behind closed doors. New videos every week. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you are always first to know. And if you are ready to go even deeper, check out the video on screen right now. It covers the exact hidden costs that modular home companies add after you sign, and how to negotiate them down before installation day. See you in the next one.